How are you keeping?
Definitely. Oh, I'm good. Good to be talking to another human being. I was saying to you earlier, I've been here by myself, so going a little crazy, but
Oh, that's mad.
good for the most part.
That's amazing. I mean, like, yeah, one would go a little bit crazy, but I mean, you seem absolutely fine. We spoke earlier, and you were like, "Oh, I'm not sure if I remember how to talk to people," and it was absolutely there was no issues. I think
I really don't.
it's like
So if
riding a
I,
bike, you know.
yeah, if I start talking in my own language at some point, don't mind it.
Okay, we've been warned. We've been warned, so we'll
Yeah.
expect. How has the so being I guess being isolated and things like that how's that been for like your creativity? Have you tried creating music or have you tried done some other stuff instead? Because I know people are doing different things that they wouldn't normally do. So
Yeah.
how's that been for you?
It's definitely up and down. Like I often will get into these kind of bursts of creativity where like for a weekend I'll just go at it and write. I keep finding myself writing, starting a song, and then I'll be like, this is so good, this is great. And then when I go away and try to come back to it, I just start a new song. So I have like I think at one stage there I had 30 or 40 like songs started, but nothing finished.
Wow,
So
that's
I
amazing.
definitely creativity wise, there's definitely lots in there. It's more the productivity of like feeling motivated to get like finished things and have
Mm.
finished product. So that's definitely been more of the challenge. So I'm just trying to take little little steps at a time, pretty
Mm.
much.
Is that kind of the same? Is that your creative process? Like, do you create a lot and then sort of then leave it for a bit, let it sort of ferment or however you can call it? That's probably not a nice way to say it, but and then you come back to it. Like, is that normal or is that just only during the quarantine?
Usually it kind of depends. Like I kind of wish I did have just one set way that I went about doing it because it would be in some ways easier. But
Mm.
it depends on the song because I think with some songs I do have to kind of like leave them for a bit and kind of just let them
Let them
brew,
breathe.
brew. Yeah, let them breathe.
That's what I
Because
should have said.
yeah, there you go. Breathe, ferment. I mean, potato, potato. But I definitely you kind of have to leave some of them. I find especially if I've had it in my head for a while that I've wanted to maybe write a song about a particular event or a particular issue or something in
Mm.
particular. I find sometimes it's nice to let it breathe and revisit it then with kind of fresh eyes, like often, so
Hmm.
it doesn't get kind of stuck in just one place. But then on the other hand, I mean, a lot of my favorite songs though have been just I sat down one day and it just all blurted out on a page,
Wow.
and then
Mm.
that's it done in like an hour or two. So it really can depend. I haven't had as many kind of blurred it all out on the page recently.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe because I guess for those ones it's usually something has happened that has maybe provoked it. Well, like at the moment, I'm just at home or I'm not really out in the world doing that much. So I guess it's a longer process because it's not like I guess I'm just not doing enough to kind of write about an event right now.
The
Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, sitting at home in my pajamas. Woo.
the inspirations kind of like comes from the action, I suppose, right? Maybe that's how it's being sort of processed, or and I suppose yeah, there's no like musicians are really different. Like any artist would be different in sometimes they do have multiple modes of creativity, right? It comes in different fashions and forms, and I guess I see why you say, oh, it's a little bit frustrating because then you can't really hone in on it and go, oh, at least I know myself that if I do this, drink a tea in the morning and have this kind of food and do this and read this book, I know I'll be able to create a song. But
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way, right? So
yeah.
it's interesting. But you released two songs recently, two really successful ones. I mean, your the song, was it in February or March? Pathetic. Which one? When was that released?
Pathetic. Yeah, just on the last day of January,
Mm,
um, I released that, and it now I think nearly 45,000 streams, which
it's
is
amazing.
great. Which is it's been fantastic. The response I've gotten has been really good,
Mm,
um, and so positive. Especially because when I wrote that song, I was in such a negative space. Obviously, it's called Pathetic, and it's about myself. So to then get like such a positive reaction, and for the song to be doing so well, it
mm,
really kind of reaffirmed like my faith in music and how like when you can be in the worst place imaginable but really create something beautiful out of it and it like can help you then get to a better place and stuff. So it's been really emotional as well as just amazing.
We don't have to go into the meaning of the song or anything, but did it help you writing that? Because we spoke to Luke Clerkin about this earlier as well, about sort of expressing your sort of feeling and whatever, even if it's a dark place that you're in, and then expressing that. Did that help you sort of overcome um, that situation that you were feeling when you wrote the song?
Um, Definitely, it definitely helped me kind of work through it. I think that was definitely a blur. It blurred it all out on the page sort of song. Like I just wrote that one evening back in November,
Mm.
and it was one of those ones. I was just having the worst weekend ever. I was feeling awful sorry for myself. I was just not feeling great at all, and a few different things had happened. And then on the Sunday night, I was kind of like, I just plunked myself down at the piano. I was like, you gotta do something with this. You gotta write a song or do something. And it like kind of, it just helped me get, as well as just expressing how I was feeling. It helped me kind of crawl out of that kind of hole as well. Because
Mm.
I was like, it's kind of ironic because the song is kind of calling myself pathetic. But when I finished writing it, I was like, I'm not pathetic. I just wrote a song, like a song that I really actually liked when I was feeling like so bad and like that I couldn't do anything. And then I was like, but I can. Look what I just did. So
Mm.
it was one of those funny ones that even though it was kind of it's a sad song in many ways because it reminds me of where I was, but it also in just the process of writing it helped me realize that that's not where I needed to be.
Yeah, yeah. It's that's it's fascinating stuff, isn't it? And it's almost ironic, right? That
It's so ironic.
yeah, yeah. So how do you feel after you release a song, like, or that, you know, you've recorded it, you've gone through all the process, and then you have that self-realization going, wait, I'm not this. Did you resist releasing it at any stage, or does that go through your head at all?
um,
Like, or is it just like, no, it's a part of me, or it was a part of me? Do you look at it in that perspective? It's just really interesting because I don't release music like that myself, you know. So it's really
yeah,
interesting see a perspective, I guess.
yeah. I guess it's definitely scary because like you're being awful vulnerable and you're
Mm.
then putting that side of yourself out into the world and very like open for criticism and for I mean for anyone to say anything about it. But when I wrote the song, I just really it was like something I could it kind of anchored me. It was something I could focus on, and I was like, I actually really like this song. I really want to release it.
Mm.
And when I went and played it for a very good friend of mine, Jeff, who produced the track, who helped me produce it, he really loved it as well. And that kind of, I was like, right, well, we both really love this track, so let's like record it, let's get it done. I mean, the song was kind of recorded by, I mean, I'd written it in like halfway through November, and then
Hmm.
it was recorded, and I was raring to go by like December. I was very much, I wanted to go all in. I wanted to get it out there to the world, and I felt like I hadn't released music in a while,
Hmm.
and it was very different from music I'd released before, but it felt more me as well. So I was just very excited to kind of get it out there. And I think it was only in January when I started kind of trying to promote it and saying that it was coming out soon, and I put up like snippets of the lyrics and stuff, when I kind of had that realization of, oh, this is like some of the lyrics are very personal, like because it's kind of a dance track, but I
Hmm.
mean, some of the lyrics are quite dark, so it's like, okay, how are people actually going to take this?
And they
I
took it
remember,
well.
yeah, they did. They took it really well, and I think so. That's what I love about music. Sometimes you need like music like that, where it's very vulnerable or it's very dark, because so many other people are going through that same thing, and
Mm.
hearing that in music form can be really powerful. And like that's always kind of one of the goals for me with music. I'd love to think that my music could be helping someone else, just like other musicians and people music and my own music has helped me. And like it's that kind of, I feel like it's such a cliche, but it's that one thing, if like that song can help one other person, then
Mm.
that's amazing. Like that's the power of music in my opinion.
It's
So
awesome. No, it's amazing, and the fact that it's genuine experiences, right? So, there's so many factors within that, right? Within that creative expression, you're healing yourself. You're getting over, you know, you're able to move on, or however it is, but you're also affecting many others.
yeah,
There's so much to music, right? If you wanted to go into it, like the creative process, that's why I love doing having these conversations, I guess, because everybody has Yeah, some have similar ways of creation. Some have different ways, and it's all well and good. Everything is fantastic. Anything that's creatable is lovely. I think because
Yeah.
if we're not creating, we're destroying. That's always been something that I've firmly believed in. So it's just fascinating to see that. But yeah, it's creating something that's so vulnerable and a part of ourselves, and be able to throw it out. It requires a lot of bravery. And like, how did you come about to sort of write like this? Because were your previous songs sort of in this sort of, I know you're saying they're a little bit different style and things like that, but was this kind of the first time that you've really put yourself out there, as in like vulnerability wise, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think, well, that's, I think, why I started writing music in the first place, was kind of to express things that I couldn't express in any other way.
Mm,
I wouldn't say like all my music is from that very vulnerable place, but like a lot of it is, and even from, not even from my own experience, but like looking at other people's experience as well. And
mm,
I think that's what I always loved about music, and the like kind of universal appeal that no matter where you are or what you're going through, music, you can connect through that with people and express kind of what it's really difficult sometimes to express, just, I don't know, talking to someone or in any other way. It was always kind of my refuge, where I went when I didn't know maybe how to like handle what I was feeling, or I didn't know how to handle what was happening to other people. I always went to music. And like, I think sometimes I've actually had an interesting kind of, I guess I've had interesting conversations with this with people, because I remember having a conversation with someone where they were like, "Oh, it's amazing to be an artist. I mean, you can just express all your heartache in your music, and then you're like grand." Like, not really how it works. Like sometimes, like it is an amazing tool to express yourself, and it is. I always find it amazing to help me kind of breathe through whatever's going on. Like it kind of slows me down and steadies me and helps me understand even what I'm feeling or what is going on around me.
mm.
But it also, I wouldn't say it solves everybody's problems. Like, at the same time, I remember being kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's really the case. Um, but I do think the reason why a lot of musicians create such beautiful, powerful music is because it comes from that place of pain or from heartache. But it also, it creates something beautiful, and that's amazing in and of itself.
It definitely doesn't make things worse. Let's
Yeah,
let's put
no.
it like that. Oh, that's amazing. And so I only literally doing a bit of research. I didn't know you were on The Voice. So you were a contestant on The Voice.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that's sorry, so I must have dipped into something that maybe you don't want to
Oh no,
talk
it's
about.
grand. No, 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 it's grand. It's
Can,
just so funny because it doesn't feel like something I even did. It was, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, it was like 5 years ago now. But yeah, I was on the Voice of Ireland back when I was in my first year of college. And it was crazy. I mean, I'd entered it because my friend, I remember my friend was over at my house and she was like, oh, I saw this application, like, would you not just fill it out and see? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Um, and when I got the first kind of acceptance to like come and do an audition, because you do a few rounds of auditions before the actual show audition.
Mhm.
Um, my kind of goal with being on the show was I wanted to sing an original song and I wanted to get my music out there. That was kind of my goal, but that's not really what the Voice's goal was.
Mhm.
At the time, like I think they kind of decide, they pick and choose whether they want people to perform their own music or whether to perform covers and stuff. So I ended up kind of on the show. I got to the I think I made it to the knockout,
Mhm.
but it wasn't really, I don't didn't really feel like it was a very good reflection of me as an artist, because I didn't get to sing my own stuff. And the song I did sing, I sang for my blind audition a Pink song, which
Mhm.
I kind of at the time was like, I don't really think this suits me. Like I love Pink, she's class, but it didn't really suit my voice. And
Mhm.
they were kind of like, well, if you want to be on the show, you got to sing the song. And I was like, okay. But then on camera, you have the judges being like, I don't think it was the best song choice. And you're like, I
You didn't
know.
choose it. Yeah,
That's the
that's
producers. I don't know what to tell you. So
yeah.
it was a very educational experience. Like I was so glad I did it because it
Mm.
showed me so much of like that kind of world
Yeah.
of reality TV competitions and stuff. And like I think fair play to the people who've gone through it, because it is really hard and there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes where you're just waiting around all day to record a like 2 minute clip that then is edited in a way that you're like, oh, I didn't realize they were going to do that. But
Mm.
It was a really educational process for sure. I'm really glad I did it, but I don't know. I don't think I would do it again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unless I could do my own music. I don't think I could
That's
do it again. But
crazy. I thought it was. I thought you
yeah.
get to choose what you do. Like, I mean,
I think it depends because
mm,
I've talked to people who they have gotten to sing their own stuff or their own even takes on songs, but I don't know, for whatever reason I wasn't given that opportunity. And like I think what people forget is at the end of the day it's a television show. So like obviously they
mm,
want to make it entertaining for the viewer. That's kind of priority number one.
sure. Mm,
Which is fair. And I have so much respect for people who go through the whole thing because I do think it's a lot. Like
mm,
it is a lot behind the scenes. Um, I just don't think personally I could do it again.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
I think I'm just so focused on my own music and that's what's important to me. So I think I don't know if I'd go back, but I definitely learned a lot from it.
No, it's great. It's great. Barry J says the exact same experience. He had the exact same experience on
Oh
The
yeah,
Voice. So
yeah,
you're not the only one, and I'm sure there's many,
yeah.
many, many, many. But and this was a question actually I wanted to ask somebody today, and I guess you're that person because I didn't ask anybody else this question. But
I'm the lucky one.
yeah, I hope so. I hope you like the question. The question might be a bit weird, but do you think, from your perception, I guess only because we're talking about this, do you think it's easier for you or better or maybe the place you're in now, and guys at home, anybody in the chat as well, Barry J or anybody that wants to answer this, do you think it's better to right now in this current climate to be self-representing yourself as a musician, as an artist, or better or worse we can talk about the advantages and disadvantages. We don't have to go into too much detail, but I guess sort of your perception, because are you represented by somebody or you represent yourself? You're doing all the legwork, right?
Oh yeah, it's all me.
Yeah. So what's your experience with that? And do you think that's a good way to operate, or would you get a management if you had the option and things like that? I suppose that's kind of the
Yeah,
question.
I
There's a
think
question in there somewhere, guys.
yeah, there is a question there somewhere. I think it's one of those ones where there's no like definitive one is better than the other. I know from the standpoint of, I guess, having gone through The Voice and having maybe seen a few other people who are signed, because I think when you first start out, you're like, you want to get signed. You want management, you want a label behind you, because that's what you've been told, like from TV and from movies. That's what you need to
Mm,
do. And like there is a lot of cons to that. I mean, you are signing a contract. I mean, looking back on The Voice, you have to sign, like if I had, for example, been successful out of that, they would have had a lot of ownership over me and my music for many years. And that to me now is a very scary prospect. I don't know if I'd be reaching for that pen straight away because it is powerful as an independent artist that you have complete say over all of your music. You have complete say over what you want to do, what gigs you want to play, how you want to represent yourself. So there is definitely power in that. I would also say right now it is. See, it is a time where independent artists, because we have social media and we have the online sphere, that we can put our music out there. Like we are in a place where we can record at home, maybe more so now than ever, with the like technology out there and stuff. But some of the advantages of being signed, particularly at a time like this, like I would play a lot of live gigs, and obviously I can't at the moment. And when you are signed or you have representation, you have more avenues and ins with, like, particularly in Ireland, with like RTE or with different kind of the big media outlets. You have people helping you out to get you to these kind of bigger names. Whilst if you're kind of by yourself, you're trying to do everything, right? You're trying to be
mm,
a manager, you're trying to do the admin, sending emails, you're trying to do the production on your songs, you're doing the advertising, you're doing it all. And that can be a lot, and it's a lot of pressure. It can be like you have to be a jack of all trades. And I think in some ways I've seen with people who I know have like management and stuff, it it's helpful that they have all of these other avenues, I guess,
mm,
and a support system there to help get them through it, especially when live gigs isn't a thing at the moment. Like, I mean, that's something that I really miss. And I think, especially when you're an independent artist, well, really, when no matter what sort of artist you are, when you're trying to build your name, it's really important to be playing live shows and be building a buzz around your name. And it can be when we don't have that avenue at the moment. So, and I know you can do live streams and stuff, but that can be hit or miss, and it
Mm,
depends on your social media kind of traction, and you don't have maybe a label who has connections with different radio shows or with different people just in the kind of creative sphere in Ireland. And
mm,
it is a small enough bubble in Ireland, and it can be hard
yeah.
as an independent artist to break into that bubble. Um, so there's definite pros and cons.
Mm,
I think if you can find a manager who or like or a team that is really invested in you and your vision, I think that's a very powerful thing, and that's amazing. But there is like I've been to a few talks in recent times, well last year, with different managers and label representatives, and they kind of all say now like they don't like to jump in as early because you can do it all at home, you can do
mm,
everything yourself, so we wait until you're at a certain stage, and that can be very frustrating obviously to hear because you're like, oh well, we want you to jump in now so you can help us get to that place.
mm,
um but yeah, I think there's pros and cons to it all, you know, it's not black and white, but that would be kind of my opinion on it, I guess. If you can find management and a label that you really feel like is prioritizing your vision and your creative goals and you as an
mm,
artist, then definitely. But I think that can be hard
yeah.
because I mean they're trying to run a business as well. They're trying to look for what is going to help them at the end of the day. So it can be hard kind of to see who's really has your best interests at heart. And at least as an independent
Absolutely.
artist, you know that you are always trying to have your best interests at heart, even
Mm,
if it does mean you're doing kind of a lot more work, maybe.
mm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
no.
my opinion
I
on it.
appreciate it. No, I appreciate you giving us an answer because and some of the guys in the chat as well gave us an answer as well, and it's pretty much on the same lines as yourself. You know, Barry J was like he loves the DIY, full control, but he'd be open to labels contacting him, of course. You know, but I guess it's also difficult to find the right people and to find the people that do genuinely have your best interest because it is the business gets a little bit sharkier the deeper you go, right? The deeper the waters, the more sort of possible dangers they are of you getting stuck in a situation that it can be difficult to get out, right? Where it
I mean,
becomes a
you can
legal
even,
issue and
yeah, for sure. You can even see it with bigger artists, like with Taylor Swift and what happened with her music from when she was younger.
mm,
Like I would have, I guess, from the voice and from different experiences when I was younger, I would just be very protective over my own music and um, I'm me as an artist just from having kind of seen what happened, can happen to people. But I would sometimes worry for like maybe young, fresh musicians who are in their teens and they're amazingly talented, and people can pounce and like
mm,
not give them the best deal that they could be getting. Um, but then at the same time, like there is a lot of amazing managers and labels out there. I don't want to be saying that like they're all sharks and they're out to get you. Like I've seen firsthand. I mean, I know my very good friend Eve Bell. She's with Ruby Works, and they are amazing, and they treat her amazingly. And like, there's lots of places out there who really do respect the artists and are really out there just trying to get their artists to where they need to be.
mm.
Um, so if any of those sort of people are listening, if you want to contact me, I'm here, open to hearing from you. But
Amazing
yeah,
save. I love how you saved yourself there. You didn't say
yeah.
anything bad. It's great. No, it's a very interesting perspective. I mean, I hope all these things become a little bit more transparent in the future. And I think there's a great community. And you're speaking about community and the music community in Ireland. It was today more so like quite a lot today, which was lovely. And I kind of wanted to make that the theme of sort of this episode almost. I'm stealing Barry's idea now. I'm just going to make themes now every week, Barry. So just like he is, but there is a lovely community of supportive people and great advisors that are genuine, that are musicians themselves that have been doing it for longer or have gone through different experiences, and it's an amazing sort of melting pot of shared experiences here and people's perspectives from abroad, right? Because you get a lot of international musicians coming here and joining the circuit and preferring this circuit even for its
Yeah.
sort of community basis, right? It's not as competitive maybe or something. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like a competition. Although Sol said first guest said that the rapping and hip hop community is different in that genre. It's way more competitive. But the singer songwriter one does feel a lot more kind of gentle with regard to like it's not a harsh, rough competition, competitive world. It seems. I don't know, but I might be wrong. This is also my
No,
perception.
I for sure I've definitely felt that, especially in the last year. I mean, in a lot of the gigs I've played where it's singer songwriters, I think we there seems to be this kind of understanding with like 99% of the people I've met who are singer songwriters playing in Dublin and trying to get somewhere, that we're all kind of in the same boat and that we're all trying our best. And I feel like there's this sense of like, well, we should all just support each other and raise each other up. And hey, maybe one of us will do really well, and then they can help raise more of us up. And if we all kind of like band together and support each other, that can only be good. Like it can't
Mm,
actually. I think I've seen maybe in other places where there is that competitive nature, and I just don't think it actually helps anyone at the end of the day to be tearing each other down. It can only help to be all like supporting each other. Like I know from even playing Zodiac sessions in like Bruxelles Bar every Wednesday, every single musician I've met from that, they all have the same attitude. They all share each other's music online constantly. They all check in. We all check in with each other. We're all out there doing our thing and being each other's cheerleaders. And it's only helped because then people who are maybe fans of me will then go and see I'm sharing someone else's and go listen to their music and be like, oh,
mm,
that's amazing too, and vice versa. Like it's not to anyone's detriment to be supportive and kind and like
sure.
be
Mm,
building each other's up. So I think it is an amazing thing, the music community, particularly. Well, obviously, I really only have experience amongst the singer songwriters, I suppose, where I found that like everyone is very positive and supportive, which is amazing. And I know that's not
mm,
the case everywhere. So it
yeah,
is really special. And hopefully
definitely.
that, I think even more so now, it's continuing.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can't wait. I've even like I've had people message me being like, "Oh, I can't wait to play gigs with you and have a few pints once this is all over." And it's really lovely. You don't maybe realize how much people that you just see maybe on the gig circuit all the time have like really become part of your like friend group and like family almost, because we're all
Mm.
going through all the stresses of everything together. So it is really wonderful.
Yeah, it's quite unique here in Dublin. Now, I haven't obviously delved into every city and musical city in the world, obviously, so it's hard to know how else it behaves and operates. But it does feel like from sort of places that I would expect a great music scene or a really, a strong music community in cities I've been. I didn't get, and it definitely Dublin pulled me back, for the musical sense and the artistic sense that it has, that other cities just don't. It's just not the same. It's become too commercial in other places, or it's just become it's just too competitive. Everybody out for themselves, and it's not a nice environment. I don't think it's like you're saying. There's no benefit really, for to have that sort of attitude. As an artist, to be against it. It's not a competition. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. And you're right. Like stronger, there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome. No, I'm glad we kind of dipped into this conversation. It's definitely something I wanted to chat about. But maybe I should stop talking and stop asking you questions. Maybe I should let you play something. How do you feel about that? Should we play a couple of tracks?
Sure.
Your guitar's been in your hand the whole time. So
Sorry, ready. Like she just likes to sit on my lap, so she's ready to go.
awesome, awesome. You can fire away and play two tunes if you'd like, because we had a lovely chat there. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you the
Great.
floor.
I guess I'm gonna start with a slow enough song. I wrote this song back in November. It's called "Friends Who Love," and well, I hope you enjoy it. Simplicity walks out the same way you walk in. Electricity burns the lights out, burns my skin. Fresh off a daydream, fresh off a daydream delusion. Duplicity on my lips, your lips just breathe. But I'm tiptoeing around the issue. You'll engulf me, darling, like smoke. Oh, I'm tiptoeing around my issue. You can't fix what I've already broke. Because I made a vow that I wouldn't hurt nobody else. And I made a promise that I'd go get me some help before you kiss me and hold me and leave me. You should know this smile's just pretend, 'cause I'm too damn alone. So please, let's just be friends. Friends who touch me. Please, let's just be friends. Intelligence floats above my head and floats away. My defense, my intentions, never intended to stray. Fresh off a nightmare, fresh off a nightmare confusion. With reverence I pray, I pray. But I'm tiptoeing around the issue. You'll consume me, darling, you'll choke. Lord, I'm tiptoeing around my issues. You can't fix what I've already broke. Because I made a vow that I wouldn't hurt nobody else. And I made a promise that I'd go get me some help before you kiss me and hold me and leave me. Oh, you should know the smile's just pretend, 'cause I'm too down low. So please, let's just be friends. Friends who touch me. Please, let's just be friends. Friends who blush, please. Please, let's just be friends. Friends who touch, please. Please, let's just be friends. Friends who love.
Awesome, awesome, well done.
Thank you. I don't know why I started with the heavy one, but anyway, that
It's
sounds
great. It's a lovely introduction. Friends who love, right?
Friends who love. Yeah, it's on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, if you want to hear again an acoustic version of it. I haven't released it on Spotify or anything yet, but maybe someday.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Are
You
you
know?
are you expecting like do you have an idea of what you want to release next on Spotify? I know you said you have like 30 songs you were kind of working on, but is there anything you have in your mind yet or anything ready to say talk about? If not, it's no problem.
So I do have a song that I'm planning on releasing come July.
Hmm.
It's obviously kind of difficult at the moment just because I'm at home and I would usually record with my very good friend Jeff. So I've been recording my own vocals and kind of getting used to that whole shebang. But the plan is for a song called Distraction, a kind of summery tune to be out come mid-July. So yeah, that's very exciting. I have the vocals kind of finished for it now, so we're working on the production, and it's really exciting. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx myself, but that's the next kind of big one that I'm hoping to put out there.
Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to that release, and yeah, stay in touch with that as well. I'd love to get an exclusive. You know, I love getting all these exclusives lately. No, I'm only messing. I don't need an exclusive,
We love to
but
see a spicy exclusive for sure.
that's. I'm getting used to them. I got a taste for the exclusives, and now I always want them. But yeah, fire away. Play another song there for us. It's absolutely fabulous. Thank you.
Right. Oh, thank you. And this song is kind of, it's one of my favorites. I like to, I play it at most gigs. I actually played it at the Crystal Skull Sessions back in the day
Back in
when
the
I was
day.
needed. And so I wrote this song now, 3 years ago now, and it's called Vendetta. And it's kind of, it's one of those ones, I wrote it for me. It was my kind of like anthem for myself to say that I'm winning basically in the
Mhm.
fight against myself, that I'm winning, and that's what this song is about. And yeah, I hope you like it.
Awesome.
Let's start at the beginning. I'm the girl you already know. Just got a bit of trouble on my mind that I can't control. See, baby, I'm polluted by some self-deprecation, thoughts that can take their toll if you allow them to grow. Human minds are like parasites, sucking up on your hopes and dreams, sucking up on your everything. And I will not compromise, I will stay light. With the dark, don't just come at night. It infiltrates your memories, infiltrates your everything. I will not lose my sight. And baby, I know I'm alive. This is my fight, my vendetta with the mirror. Day to take the glory, day to bring the curtains down. Cause it's me versus me, and I'm winning. My war, my fate, draw a mirror. Day that will restore me, day I know I will be found. Cause it's me versus me, and I'm winning. I'm winning. Let's have a conversation, cause you're looking so morose. Seem to have a bit of trouble on your eyelids, making you so. See, baby, that ain't no cure, but I'm not some dancer. I will not play that role, just cause I'm not quite home. Human life is that itchy scratch, feel it under your fingernails, feel cold every time you feel it. I'm so much more than that is a fact. The dark don't just come at night. It infiltrates your memories, infiltrates your everything, and I will not lose my sight. Cause baby, I know I'm alive. This is my fight, my vendetta with the mirror. Day to take the glory, day to bring the curtains down. Cause it's me versus me, and I'm winning. My war, my fate, draw a mirror. Day that will restore me, day I know I will be found. Cause it's me versus me, and I'm winning. I'm winning. Cause it's me. Starting love was a big funk. The breakthrough rocks, the fear, the spices, and chew all the wish I took a bit to my head, wielding a knife. At the end of the day, no one else here has gotta pay for the consequence, the incompetence, the resident pessimist took in my head. Me, I'm the woman in the mirror, and Jake couldn't say it any clearer. Me, I'm my own life self-loathing, my own football, my gun is always loaded. Held by your name, to be human and in pain, it's all one the same. Now I know the shame is one I ever will tame, cause it's me versus me until my dying day. This is my fight, my vendetta with the mirror. Take the glory, take to bring the curtains down. Cause it's me versus me. My war, my fate, draw a mirror. Day that always told me, day I know I will be found. Cause it's me versus me. Am I winning?
Wow. That is phenomenal.
At the end, I was like, ooh.
That is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Do you want to play another song?
I don't mind if you want.
I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great. I think people are loving it, and I'm definitely loving it. Yeah, no, it's great, and it just sounds great as well it's hard to always get it to sound, perfect on the audible side, because I've seen you live, of course, and I know you're fantastic. I know what to expect when I'm asking you to play a gig, but obviously, we have to have technology to be kind to us too, right? To be able to represent it, but it's absolutely grand with the mics and everything. So phenomenal. So that was Vendetta.
Yes.
That was Vendetta, and that's actually on, just so anybody wanting to check that song out, by the way, it's on Spotify, and it's on Crooked, which is your EP, right? This was your EP released last year, and it's got some other great songs on it as well. Gee, so I saw you, so when was it? Was it Halloween? Was that the last one? Was there one afterwards?
No, it was the Halloween one. Yeah.
And you were wearing little cat ears.
I was indeed. I was trying to, no one else was wearing anything, but I was like, it's a theme, I'm gonna wear the cat ears.
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember that well. Yeah, fantastic. And because that was, so you had two, didn't you? You had two because you were in the final as well, of course, right? So you were in so the Halloween was the final, was it? I'm just trying to recall stuff back, because
I don't think,
memories.
I'm not sure if it was on Halloween, but I definitely wore, I might have just worn the cat ears for the crack, to be honest. It wasn't even a theme. I like to whip them out every now and again. They're not even mine, they're actually a friend of mine, but I've kind of stolen them a little bit. So
Awesome. Yeah, no, it mightn't have been It might have been in the middle of July, for all we know at this stage. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll give you the floor again, Fee. So whatever you'd like to play, please. And thanks for giving us 3 songs today. That's awesome.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me. I guess I'll end with Pathetic, just cause I want everyone listening, if you can go and check it out on Spotify. Help me get to that 50K, that would be great. But yeah, I know I was talking a little bit about it earlier, but the kind of bite-sized version of what I like to say to people is, I went on a night out and got way too drunk, and woke up the next morning with just the blurry memory of bawling, crying in front of my ex. So I was like, oh gosh. So then the song was born, and I hope you like it. Please do check it out online if you enjoy it. Straight shot through the middle, a lousy lover, non-committal. Bullet wound in your head. I bet you think I don't know just how much I really hurt you then. But I do, and it haunts me. Seems like a ray in my veins and my heart trees now. But my blood don't need no pity. I'll get what I deserve and some more if you'll let me. I've cried in front of more exes than I've loved. I've died in front of more friends than I should have. I've cried in front of more strangers than I've met. I've died in front of my mother, that's something that you don't forget. In the silence, in the silence, in the silence, you're hearing me fall. In the violence, shot through the middle. I'll complicate, manipulate you just a little while. No, this isn't a game. I just have a looking for attracted shame. Wow, no, I never meant to push you down, down, down. But now I'll hear you say with disdain, driven out your way. You're the best, I'm up and coming. All the victim out of fantasy. Cried in front of my lover, then I kissed. I died in front of my sisters and what have made me. I cried in front of my mirrors and reflect. I have died in front of my mother. That's something that you don't forget. In the silence, in the silence, in the silence, you'll hear me fall. In the violence, in the violence, the violent violence, I'll lose it all 'cause I'm pathetic, don't you know? Oh, I'm pathetic, let it go. I take, I wait, I cry, I break, I stall, I'm small, I die, I fall, I take, I quake, I cry, I break, I stall, I'm small, I die and I will fall. In the silence, in the silence, in the silence, whoa. In the violence, in the violence, I'll lose it all 'cause I'm pathetic, don't you know? Oh, I'm pathetic, let it go. I'm pathetic, don't you
Absolutely fantastic, Fee. Thank you so much for giving us like a feels like a private performance, but there is people watching. There is people watching, and it's fantastic, you know, because I played that song. I think one of the first episodes, second or whatever. But anyway, I listened to the song a few times because I have it on the playlist as well. So I've listened to it many times. So for me to hear it acoustically as well, it's just there's you can really feel the power of live music. I know we're still kind of faced with a screen situation here, but you can sort of see it and see the kind of gusto that goes behind in it, and almost you reliving that sort of, not to say you are, but one can imagine, you know, one reliving that sort of emotion whilst singing something like that. But there's so much power in it, and it's awesome. Fair play to you, like for writing songs like that is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
I think
Um,
my favorite, one of my, I guess maybe my favorite part of music is getting to perform. I think that's like even like especially live when you feel when you're so in that emotion and then you feel that the crowd are there with you. That's
mm,
like that's the most my favorite thing in the entire world. My favorite place to be. So it's
mm.
definitely the thing I've missed most. Every time someone is like, "Oh, what have you missed most this lockdown?" Like, "Oh, I've missed like my family and my friends." I'm like, I miss being on stage. Like, I really, really do. It's just such a magical kind of feeling. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's no comparison. There really isn't. Like
no.
it's so different. I mean, different. It's not. It's just it's an amazing moment when you're able to connect with people and multiple people in the crowd, and they back and forth, isn't it? It's not a one way thing. It's like people are giving you something, you're giving something back, and it's an amazing feeling. So hopefully we get there sooner than later. But we don't know what's going on yet, right? So we just have to keep writing songs, right? And
Yeah, this is it.
doing different things, whatever we have to do. Listen, thank you so much for coming on to the show, Fee. It's been awesome catching up with you as well. So like,
Yeah.
thanks so much. Is there anything you'd like to close off with? Any sort of anything you'd like to inform the viewers? Anything you want to just get off your chest while you have the world, the communication with the outside world, I suppose.
I guess the main one would be to, if you did enjoy my music today, to go follow me on Spotify. If you put into Spotify Fi, Fi, and then Pathetic, it should come up. You'll see my
Hmm.
little face. And if you want to listen to the song, click follow, so you can see when I have more music out. And yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I mean, half the time it's just pictures of this cat who decided to adopt me. I haven't adopted him; he's adopted me, and it's usually just that, and then a little bit of music thrown in here and there. But if you do want to follow me, my handle is fi underscore music underscore. So
Awesome.
do come follow me, and I'll follow you back, and we'll have a little party.
I love it. Amazing. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to your next release as well. So do stay in touch with that. And of course, guys, yeah, so it's Fee underscore music on Instagram and Fee Pathetic, or any of your songs. I know it's kind of hard to find with Fee, FI into Spotify.
Yeah,
So you
it
have to,
doesn't come up straight away. Well,
yeah.
there's no other be pathetic out there, so
Exactly. That's how I found you. That's how I've been finding you. So that's another good way to find you, of course.
if you, as
Listen,
well, if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I have all the links there as well. So uh,
Instagram's the best. I think
yeah,
Instagram's
oh,
a little bit better
100%.
than Facebook. Sorry, Facebook. I've been using Facebook, but I've been complaining about it the whole time on the station. So Instagram and YouTube, that's the place to go, guys. But Fee, thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy the bit of the sunshine there, and I look forward to seeing you live at one of the shows sooner than later. So take care.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. See you soon. Bye bye.
See